Wisconsin Foodie would like to thank the following underwriters. It is a beautiful summer day, and we are so lucky to be here in your summer kitchen. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for coming.
So with this menu or this dinner tonight, I really wanted to be able to create a showpiece for St. Isidore's cheese. And the way that I thought I could do that and incorporating all the locality and seasonality of this place is to hit the farmer's market and put together a really, really beautiful vegetarian pasta.
I think that sounds fantastic. You know, when you cook with great ingredients, you can cook with seasonal great ingredients and it's always going to turn out fantastic.
I have 2 flours here, and these flours are from Meadowlark Organics. I'm gonna ask if you can run it through the sifter on your board. In this particular recipe, I've taken 2 flour types. One is an all-purpose flour, so I have 500 grams of that all-purpose flour and 200 grams of the rye flour. So we're gonna have a little bit of texture with this pasta, and my rule of thumb, for every 100 grams of flour, we incorporate 1 egg.
Okay.
So with 700 grams of flour, we are going to need exactly 7 of your beautiful farm fresh eggs.
And you use the whole egg, not just the egg yolk.
I'm gonna use the whole egg. So if I could have you make the well in the middle. If you wanna start cracking those eggs into the middle, what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to take and cut out the center of this tomato to separate the really, really wet parts from the parts that are going to stand up to a little bit more heat. All right, so right now we see this well here. What I'm gonna have you do, let's start to pop those yolks a little bit with the tongs or the tweezers. And while you do that, I like it if you started like spinning in a counterclockwise direction. And as you're doing that, you're starting to slowly pull that flour in.
Okay.
It's gonna give that dough a little bit of structure.
Right.
And we're gonna be able to work it just a little bit better. I'm gonna sprinkle some salt on there. All right, sister, now what I'm gonna have you do is you gotta go for broke, go ham
with
here.
my hands.
Get your hands in there. These little babies are amazing. These are my favorite vegetable at the market today. These are mustard greens, and I love these things for a myriad of reasons, but mainly, I like being able to chop off the top greens and saute them down.
Are they spicy?
A little bit. They give you that kind of horseradish kick.
Okay.
Look at these. I was so stoked when I picked these up at the market, but we're gonna use them in a couple different ways today, Inga. I'm gonna take and flip them first, and I'm gonna get a little bit off the ends here, because that's gonna be the first thing that hits my saute pan.
Okay. And you're gonna use the greens as well?
I'm gonna use the greens as well, yeah.
Use the whole plant, that's what I always say.
Yeah, seriously. So now that we have this.
Do I need more flour to make it a little bit
we're gonna
more?
dust this up with a little bit more flour. So you're rolling it now. You can see the consistency of this coming together. How does it feel?
Right, it feels good. It feels heartier than a lot of pastas that I've made before.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Right, and what we're gonna wanna do here is I'm gonna have you work that, like really get into that thing, sister. So what I wanna do is I wanna start sauteing a little bit of my tomato here, some of my onions, and then we'll work those asparagus tips in. How's that sound?
Fantastic.
Oh yeah. So next, I'm gonna throw in a couple of these onions. And I actually want to put a super special gift in here. In this bowl right here, these are Serrano chilies that were dried by my friend Jen Falk. Jen is a member of the Oneida tribal nation, and she gave these to me as a parting gift from one of the shoots we did last year. And I am so thrilled to be able to put a little piece of this into this set, because it's gonna add just a little bit of spice. It's gonna add a little bit of dimension to this, but it also is putting another beautiful food memory right in the pan. At this juncture, how does this feel?
This is feeling really...
Ooh, look at that.
How do you describe it? Like, is it the glutens that are working together?
Yes. One of the ways that I test the pasta dough is can I stretch it like this? And do I tear it when I do it? Here, not so much. We're starting to really work those glutens. But the other thing is when I put my finger on it, does it bounce back a little bit?
Oh, nice. Wow, that's amazing.
Right, you see that?
So, and if it didn't, you'd keep working.
We'd keep working it. We're gonna set that there, and we're gonna let that chill out for just a second. I can really smell this starting to come together, and those tomatoes are really starting to work down. I got a little shot of that chili flake there, even as I breathe it in, which is great. That tells me that that is activated and working, and what we're gonna do is just splash it with a little bit of this cava. So as this kind of sautés down, and I'm gonna chill this out just a little bit, How about we roll out the pasta though?
Perfect.
We actually pre-made a little bit of pasta dough too, just because the trick with pasta to making really good, really satisfying pasta at home is being able to let it rest.
Right.
By letting it rest, we let that flour hydrate. And by letting it hydrate, it develops even more gluten. So with this, I'm gonna take this pasta dough here and we're gonna cut it into thirds. So we are going to do basically 1, 2, 3. We're gonna run each sheet through 3 times. Man, this is so big and beautiful, and really, it's not that hard.
Making pasta homemade is I mean, it's a game changer.
Totally.
I don't think you go back to store-bought pasta, dried pasta after
Not easily.
learning this skill.
I'm gonna remove this, and we're gonna go straight into the spaghetti spot here, okay? So we're gonna feed this through just like this. And you can see right here, like this beautiful little nest. This is exactly what I wanna do. Now I'm gonna actually take a little bit more flour, and I'm gonna dust it, just a little bit. Hear that water boiling. We're gonna take and we're gonna dunk this in here, okay?
Okay.
It's only gonna take like 3 or 4 minutes.
And you're gonna just wait for it to come up to the top,
yep,
right?
Just come up to the top. Let's get those greens in there. Oh yeah. Now these will cook down. They'll absolutely shrink down in the pan. I'm gonna pop this pasta. How do you feel about butter?
This is where I get my girlish figure from. All the butter.
I got a body by butter. Me too. A couple nice healthy dabs in there. And I'm gonna take and toss this together. Last but not least, Miss Inga, we're gonna do 2 eggs. Oh man, look at that yolk. Those are some happy ladies. What we want with this is these eggs are actually gonna work as our sauce. So when we pop that yolk over the top of our bowl of pasta, it's gonna ooze into that thing. We've got pasta with my friend Inga. And
this looks like a very chefy dish, but it looks like something that everyone can make.
Yeah, yeah. It's like ratatouille, right? Like anyone can be a chef. Okay.
That looks beautiful.
Right? I'm gonna put that there. Look at this thing, those crispy edges. Ooh, don't you go away. Now, all of this has been done to just set the stage for the cheese.
Oh, I forgot almost about the cheese.
You forgot about the cheese? How could you forget about the cheese? The cheese stands alone. So I'm gonna ask you, with the microplane over there, what I want this to look like is a snow-capped mountain.
Okay. And see how the color of the cheese matches up with the color of the yolks?
Right.
It's because the chickens and the cows are eating the same grass-fed diet, which I always love. I love to tell kids about this because a lot of us think that cheese is supposed to be a really bright kind of fake color, but it's because of the milk, if it's good quality milk.
We have here a homemade pasta with Metalwork Organics flour. We have mustard greens, tomatoes, asparagus, onions from your local farmer's market. We have put that in a saute pan with Driftless Organic sunflower oil. We have garnished this with local herbs, and then we put 2 of your house eggs on top of it with St. Isidore's cheese. Does it get any more local, seasonal, and fresh than this?
This is so exciting having you make dinner for me.
Oh man, this is so exciting to be here. Thank you for having me into the summer kitchen. And I am quivering with anticipation to give this a taste. This is gonna be out of this world. All right, you ready? Moment of truth?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Do you mix the yolk around?
Yeah. Like, it's not a party until you mix that yolk around. That first bite, you get like the lushness of those greens, right? The tomatoes add a lot of body. The pasta itself has a certain umami flavor that you get with that rye, but the chili flake starts to come up a little bit with that acidity, and the thing that kisses it at the pinnacle of flavor is that cheddar. It's right there to catch it. So just as soon as you think, wow, this is a really unusual bite, my mouth is moving in a lot of different directions, that cheddar comes in and takes it over and swirls, and then it lets you finish with a clean palate, which is awesome.
This is really good.
Thank you.
I mean, you shouldn't be surprised, but
I am.
This is really good.
Inga, thank you so much for having me out on the farm. It's truly been an honor to kind of shadow you today and see into your life. to get to know you a little bit better, to see how the cheese is made, to be in the barn with you and the girls, to be out here in the summer kitchen putting this together. I really, really appreciate it. And here's to you.
I appreciate you coming out, and I hope that you'll join us one day in our winter kitchen as well.
I love it. Cheers.